This is a Sapphire RX 470 Nitro. It is not your typical RX 470 card. This is a mining edition RX 470. Mining was all the rave a few years back, and manufacturers made mining edition cards in order for miners to buy these instead of gaming cards. Now, one catch with mining cards is that they have limited display outputs, because well, they don't really need one for the task that they do. This card in particular has one DVI port, and I found out about these cards from buying at Techia City. I was scouring eBay one day, and I was able to find one for $50, so let's see how we did. First thing we need to do is flash the BIOS to a gaming version. To do that, we're going to need a PC with onboard graphics or a CPU with integrated graphics, and flash the card with ATI flash. It took me a solid day to figure things out, but you're going to need to run ATI flash through command prompt, and well, in my case, use the second BIOS on the GPU, which is selected through a physical switch on the board itself. And after going through all that, let's test our card, take the numbers, clean it up, and see if that changes anything. For our test bench, we're going to use a Ryzen 9 3950X to remove any CPU limitation that we may run into during testing, and 32 gigs of DDR4 with 3600 MHz RAM. This isn't what you would normally run with an RX 470, but I wanted to remove any outside limitations and see how much our RX 470 changes from the first time we game after the flash, and some TLC. Tender love and Christian. Alright. After testing and cleaning up the GPU, the numbers stayed more or less the same. I compared a few numbers online and yeah, they're pretty much where an RX 470 should be. I would say through some dumb luck, I didn't really need to do much more than just flashing the BIOS. So was it worth it? Going through the hassle of flashing the BIOS of a mining card if you're a first timer like me might seem a little bit daunting. But after figuring out all the things that I needed, it has been an extremely satisfying journey of learning and building PCs. There were a few times when it got really frustrating, but the end result is really good. If you're looking to build for a friend or yourself and the budget is really tight, try this one out. They're fairly common nowadays on eBay, maybe your local Craigslist, and take that greedy miner's money and build a really good PC that's bang for your buck. If you pair this with a Ryzen 5 1600AF, if you could find them for about $85, then you already have a killer foundation for a PC that'll handle games at 1080p, even run esports titles on high, for only about $140. Get yourself a solid motherboard, 16GB of RAM, a good quality power supply, and some storage, and you're only looking at about $400. However, there should always be some level of precaution as for when you're buying used parts online. For a while when I was trying to flash the BIOS, I genuinely thought that the card was dead on arrival. The PC wouldn't post when the GPU was plugged in, and I had to look up quite a few things like integrated graphics on your CPU to flash this graphics card. And I was using my main desktop that had a Ryzen CPU, and those things don't have integrated graphics. Another was trying to figure out how to use ATI flash on command prompt, which was fairly easy in hindsight, but as a first timer it was quite tedious. But in most situations the pros outweigh the cons, especially in this situation. If you just need a graphics card to run games on high at 1080p, you really can't beat the $50 price tag. However, the single DVI output will limit as to how many monitors you can hook up to it, and the resolution and the refresh rate of the monitor. But if those things don't bother you, and along with the troubleshooting steps you need to go through, then the price tag is really hard to beat. Especially when the things go right, it's extremely satisfying to build. I will always recommend buying used PC parts, but your mileage will always vary. And with that being said, give this video a like if you liked it, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next video.